I think a leading woman is any woman who is trying to make the world better because she's in it.
An iconic superhero turned modern-day hero, Nanette Medved-Po. Hi!
Hi!
And welcome to Leading Women.
Welcome to Hope.
Thank you very much. Hope.
Yes.
You founded this social enterprise, Generation Hope, in 2012. Please tell us how it started and why you started it.
Actually, the original company was Friends of Hope in 2012, and the reason back then was super simple. We wanted to demonstrate to the business community that a product that gives to social good would be supported by the public.
With this simple hope, with this simple direction, how much of it has changed already in 8 years?
Well, we started off purely as a water equals classroom company, and we only had kind of one product and one mission. But as the company has grown, we've realized that we can actually try and be helpful in more than one space. And so today we don't just have initiatives in education, but we also have initiatives in environment as well as in livelihood through agriculture.
Was this the initial direction when you started the company?
No. I think that what we were just trying to do in the beginning was make this as simple as possible so people could understand. Back then, the concept of a social enterprise was very foreign. Now that people understand, have a very clear understanding of what a social enterprise is, and the public has made it very clear that they want to support companies who try and do the right thing, we feel like we have a little more of a mandate to expand the work that we do beyond classrooms, especially since we are in a plastic bottle. We went into the environmental impact as well as agriculture, which seems a little bit malayo, but makes sense because we work with US companies.
Why water?
Because it was easy to understand, right? If I wanted to come up with a very complicated product, I may not be able to sell it. A commodity seemed like the easy way to go, and everybody understands, bottled water. And then classrooms was also easy to understand. Its infrastructure concept of a building, a classroom that allows children to learn.
Beautiful. And when you were younger, did you ever think of putting something up like this, or were you as conscious about the environment?
No, I don't think so. I think we all evolve. I think everybody grows up with the notion that they should try and do good things, right, and do the right thing. I think we all grow up understanding the importance of education regardless of where you're from. But as you get older and you become more informed, you understand very concretely how important those things are. And when you get to a position where there is potential for you to use your personal platform to try and achieve some of those good things, then you just naturally, I think, step into that space. So that's kind of what happened to me.
Which is beautiful because you educate and inform and give the Filipinos an opportunity to help.
We've democratized giving. We each have the ability to make a difference in the world. And so what we wanted to do is say, you don't have to be, Taipan X, Y, or Z. You can be anyone and contribute to nation building. And this is the way you do it.
The beauty and the happiness that you give to those who are able to go to school, to those who have their classrooms. How does that make you feel?
I don't think we can take credit for that. I think we just try and do our best. We're certainly only one part of a very big effort to educate, and that primarily goes to the Department of Education. So we may help in our small way by providing the infrastructure, the classroom itself. But certainly the teachers, right, are a huge shout out. The parents who make sure the kids get to school. DepEd, which makes sure that they're properly supplied and have teachers, right? I mean, all of that, I think, is a much bigger effort that we should all be applauding. And what we're doing is just helping.
How important is education to an individual?
You can be very wonky and talk about data, right? They say that for every dollar invested in education is 13x is the return, right? So you can be very boring and talk about that. But you can also talk about the fact that for every year of education that a person gets, especially a woman, the multiplier effect on that to improve her own income and her family's income is unmeasured. Because when you uplift a woman, you uplift the in an entire community, not just the family.
And in uplifting the woman, we look to you, a woman who has done so much. Can you imagine holding a bottle of water and then knowing that you are going to build a classroom? Wow.
Yeah, so that was actually the initial appeal, no? When I launched in 2012, one of the things that my famous stories was that if you're, let's say my yaya is going home for the week, they buy her day off, of course she has to ride the bus to go home, then she goes to buy her drink to go on the bus to go home. She's looking at the chiller and she's saying, it's all the same, it's all water. But one of them allows me to actually, in my position in society, to help nation build. And then she can even fantasize, naku, baka one day they'll build a classroom in my barangay, right? It's really such an empowering thing when people know that they can make a difference, right? And you don't need to be a taipan to make a difference. You can be literally anyone, right? And we were also hoping that it would be a little bit of a moral compass. We were saying that we sell two things at Hope. We don't just sell a bottled water, a product, but we also sell the idea of hope, right? So even if you never buy a bottle of water, we're hoping that the idea of hope that everybody can make a difference is something that stays with people. Even the smallest thing makes a big difference.
It's a very conscious effort. How are the Filipinos in terms of that conscious effort when it comes to saving the environment, holding a plastic bottle in their hand?
It's complicated. I think that the Filipino is incredibly aware, and the success of what we've done is proof of that, no? That Filipinos do care about investing in the country and in their future and in social good. However, the controversial part comes where plastic is, right? Which is why we branched into the environment, because I sit on the board of WWF and I was aware very early about the issue of single-use plastic. And so I said, wait a minute, we don't want to help solve one problem in education and then create another one in the environment. So I said, we have to challenge ourselves to solve this problem. And so that's how Hope became plastic neutral. We tried little things here and there to become neutral, and nothing could be scaled. And so when we found a scalable solution, working with co-processors, it's not perfect, but for the Philippines, it's the best we can do today until there is better infrastructure to recycle or to get rid of plastic in an environmentally friendly way. Co-processing is a very good option for us right now.
Plastic neutral in the simplest form.
Yeah.
How should we understand being plastic neutral as a Filipino, as an individual, as one who cares for the environment?
Neutrality basically means that you have ideally no negative impact. It's neutral. In our case, the definition is if we, for example, produce 1 ton of plastic packaging this year, as a company, I need to be responsible to clean up post-consumer, meaning after you drink the water, at least 1 ton of plastic post-consumer so that my footprint is neutralized. So that means whether it's cleaning up the esteros, cleaning up the oceans or the rivers or the landfills, diba? You must get back your footprint and make sure that you get rid of it or process it responsibly so that it doesn't wind up in the environment or in nature. So right now, because the Philippines doesn't have better infrastructure, that's our solution today. More advanced economies, they have better options. In the Philippines, we're not there yet. Hopefully, we'll get there. But today, as a company that uses plastic, I don't want to wait and say, I'm going to wait for a solution. I need to do something in the meantime. And as a solution comes along, we will adapt. Hopefully, our exchange is one of those solutions. We're hoping.
How about the bigger companies and their interest in doing the same?
We did not think there would be big interest in neutrality. We're working on quite a few relationships right now for companies in the Philippines that want to improve their environmental footprint.
Coming up, Nanette gives us a glimpse into her work life. That's next, here on Leading Women. Nanette Medved-Po founded Generation Hope, a social enterprise building classrooms and addressing environmental issues. So what's a day like for you? You come to the office every day.
Yep, I'm here every day. My day starts before 7 because I drop off my kids in the morning, and then I'm in the office by 7:30. And my day goes straight from 7:30. I work all through lunch. I don't break for lunch because my staff knows that at 2:45 I will not take a meeting because I pick up my kids, but I'm available for meetings again starting 3:30 or 4 o'clock because I pick up my kids and I take them to their activities, and then I'm back in the office, and then I work till about 6 o'clock.
Wow. So it's a regular schedule. It's a routine already.
Oh yeah, it has to be. Especially that Hope has kind of grown into more and more areas, it becomes busier and busier.
When you used to be in the entertainment industry,
Yeah.
the routine was a routine, not a routine.
It really isn't so much in the entertainment business. At least when I was there, it could be very different now. But when I was there, my main focus was not TV, so there wasn't a regular schedule. It was more movies, and our schedules really depended on what time of the day the scene is supposed to be, what the location was, and so my schedule was pretty much all over the place depending on what the director required. But we certainly had days where, you know, you would not sleep because you need to finish the scene because the location you have to leave already. So we've had, you know, sleepless days where we go for a while, but it isn't like this where there's a lot of routine. In our case, though, we also work heavily with companies in the US, and so sometimes I'm also working at night because of the time difference. But I like the routine. It gives me a way to kind of plan what I'm trying to do and when I can deliver what. There's comfort in structure.
I like that.
There's
we should
comfort
all
in
remember
structure.
that. There's comfort in structure.
Yeah.
We are right in front of the mural.
Yes.
That was so kindly given to you as a surprise.
No, it was a surprise. So this is a photograph, a life-size photograph of a mural that was given to us by the children of a classroom in Mindanao. We had no idea they were going to make a mural. Oh, this is Joy. Okay, Joy.
Hi, Joy.
Joy is in charge of classrooms. She was the one who found this location. This location did not have a single classroom at all, and they only had a shack under the tree where they were holding classes. And in fairness to DepEd, I don't think it's because there's lack of desire to provide the infrastructure, but they did provide the land, but they still didn't have the budget to build the classrooms. So when she came back, she said, I found this school, you know, they need 6 classrooms, and we were so emotional about it. And so I think we were being very bold, as we tend to be at Hope, and we didn't have any money. And Joy and I said, you know what, we're going to find the money, just build it. And everybody pulled together to make sure that these kids did get their classroom. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, the children must have been so happy, and the parents.
Yeah.
And you guys.
Yeah. Joy has a story about during the building, she would get reports from the foreman, right?
The foreman said that during one of the recesses, the children will go to them, touch the walls, and ask, Kuya, kailangan mo po ba ng tulong?
Oh.
Yeah.
Because they were students of an arts and trade school. So they're very used to painting.
Arts and trade.
Arts and trade school.
Ah, so perfect.
Yes. And so this classroom, when Joy went back, they made this mural saying thank you in 13 dialects, which is the 13 dialects of the children that go to school there. We replicated it here because we wanted everyone in the office to remember why they're doing their work, right?
Bringing hope, bringing joy,
There
and
you
giving
go.
thanks.
So we not only bring hope, we bring joy.
There you go. Literally.
Yeah,
Salamat, Joy.
Yeah.
Taking from one of the dialect. No, it's not the
Yes.
dialect, it's Filipino. No?
Yeah, there you go.
Being a leader, being a woman in a time like this, what is that like?
I think it's great. I'm fortunate to live in the Philippines, which has tremendous opportunities for women, much more so than many places. We're number 8 in equality for women. So it's a great place for a woman to try and make a difference. And during this time where there's so much awareness around things that can be done in my space, in the private sector, it's a great time to be a woman leader.
Mm-hmm. What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for the opportunity. I've been very blessed in my life with plenty. And so I'm thankful not so much for that, but for the awareness that I should probably try and make sure that those blessings benefit someone other than myself, that it needs to go to something bigger.
You think outside of yourself. And that is humbling. For the women out there, their voice in a situation where they think it is not heard or not listened to. You can be heard but not listened to. How will you encourage them to make their voice louder and be heard and give hope to others as well?
I don't think people necessarily need to be loud to be effective. As you said, you want to model the kind of behavior you expect from others. That can be very tiring, especially if you work in an environment or you live in an environment where you're not getting the kind of support you would like to have. But I think just putting one foot in front of the other, being resilient, not forgetting your values, will take you a long way.
Next, Nanette shares her plans for the future, coming up on Leading Women. Philanthropist Nanette Medved-Po envisions a plastic-neutral society and how we can all be hope heroes.
So, 100% pure hope. Anong hope mo, Nanette?
You never know where life takes you, right? And so I just hope that I'll kind of hear where I'm supposed to go and have the courage to take those steps. Maybe for my family, every mother hopes their kids wind up happy, and for my husband that we grow old together. But in general, I just like to know that I'm putting one foot in front of the other, trying to do what I'm supposed to do.
Your hope for the Filipinos and the awareness that you've started in saving the environment.
Filipinos are really amazing people. The fact that our number one export is people is a testament to how amazing the Filipino is and how successful they can be in any environment you put them in. And I really hope that we'll be bold enough to recognize all those wonderful things inside the Filipino and not be afraid to make sure that the world sees that and it reflects in the work we do and the way we live our lives. The same way we show to the rest of the world how wonderful we are when we're in their homes, right? Whether you are an OFW as a caregiver or as a construction worker in the Middle East or a nurse in a hospital, Filipinos are amazing. So I just want to hope that more of that continues to shine through for the Philippines.
And speaking of shining through, recognition for the Filipino, you have been recognized as a hero of philanthropy. That's a big thing. It is the work that you do, the quiet work that you do, that has already been recognized all over the world. How do you feel about that?
You're never quite sure why things happen, right? But I'm very, very grateful for that recognition. Not so much for myself, but I think it's more that it gives the work we're doing a little bit of a platform to try and do bigger things. And it allows us to work with other companies who may not have known about us to help them find their own way to sustainability maybe, or investing in social good. I think that's the way I choose to think about it. I think what was wonderful about the recognition is you don't need to be an 800-pound gorilla to be noticed, and so people shouldn't be afraid to go out and do their thing no matter how small, because there are groups out there that will recognize your work and hopefully shine a spotlight on what you're doing and help you scale the good you're trying to do.
The future that you see for the company, future of hope.
I always say that Hope is not a water company, it's an impact company. I don't think of the future of Hope as having X% market penetration in the water business, right? I don't look at it that way. I look at it in terms of we may not always be in this space, but we always want to be in the business of impact. And so wherever that takes us, if we can make a bigger impact in the environment or in education or in livelihood, that's where we'll want to be. And I'm just trusting that if we read the signs along the way, we'll go in that direction.
Thank you very much, Nanette. You know, I want to leave everyone with this thought. Ano ang hope mo?
I know, right? Just think about it. Every single person out there, if you just think about kung anong hope mo, that'll usually guide you right.
And thank you for guiding us right, Nanette. Thank you for your time and for giving all of us hope that in our own little way, we can make a difference.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.